Hey, DuPage Real Producers community. We are here today with Scott Brower from the law office of Scott Brower in Naperville. And Scott is one of the most respected and liked real estate attorneys in all of DuPage. I know he serves more than just DuPage. He does work in Will and in Cook, but very, very well respected. And we're really glad to have him as a preferred partner in Real Producers. So just want to ask a couple of questions to Scott today. And, not every real estate attorney has a different background in practicing the law, Scott, but you do. So what areas of law did you practice before becoming a real estate attorney? And when and why did you make the switch to real estate?
Sure. Well, I started off as a prosecutor when I graduated from law school many years ago now. Seems a long time ago, but 1995. And so I was a DuPage County Assistant State's Attorney for almost 5 years. I love that job. But when I went out on my own in 2003, I did a lot of criminal defense work. And I think it's helped me in my real estate practice because of the ability to negotiate and deal with problems and those types of things. But probably right after the market melted down in 2010, I was really burned out, really stressed out with all the criminal stuff. And I had always been doing some real estate. And my wife goes, why don't you just switch and just make the plunge and go into real estate? You love people, you love the work, you love kind of everything about it. And so I made a huge turn, and, business went down for a little while I was focusing just on real estate. But since 2010, I've never looked back, and I still love it even 10 years later doing it full time.
Well, that's great. And so you started out, it was just you, right? It's just basically you and a telephone, but and now you've got a very robust office. You do a ton of closings, and still you're the only attorney in the office. How are you able to keep up with everything and serve everybody and give everybody the proper communication when you're the only attorney in the office?
Sure. Well, it's the age-old adage of many hands make light work. I have a tremendous team around me. I have 3 staff members dedicated to assisting agents and clients on a day-to-day basis when I'm at closings and everything else. And I honestly work really hard. I don't apologize for that. I have a wife and 3 kids, and I spend as much time as I can with them, but they understand in the summer that dad has to work hard to get this done. But I also partner with the agents, because I think sometimes I see agents and attorneys on the other side of a transaction doing the exact same thing, trying to get a document signed, trying to do those types of things. And I just feel like when you partner with your agents, you can kind of streamline that process. And so, yes, I run around a lot during the summer. Next Tuesday on the 30th of June, it's still a very, very busy market, and I'm going to be running around a lot. But my staff, I would compare with anybody. They're second to none in the area. Pick up the phone, answer people, and I couldn't do it without them. I mean, that's just the way that it has to work.
Awesome. So obviously we're experiencing this summer surge, right, in DuPage real estate. It's wild. Everybody is super, super busy, and I know you are as well. So for our top producing realtors out there, as far as the closing goes, what are some bits of advice you would give them in this current economic climate?
Sure. And I think I would just say, stay the course. I find when we get really, really busy, and I'm guilty of this as well, we tend to stray from what has gotten us to being successful as an agent, being successful as attorney, on those types of things. And so I would say 2 things, and you're talking about the process and then the closing as well. But the first thing is that I have found that when I get away from doing the things that have made me successful, staying in touch with agents, clients, those types of things, because we get so busy with everything else that's going on, then the process suffers a little bit. So when you're an agent and you're being successful and you're doing those things, don't forget what got you there. That's the first thing. The second thing with closings is it's still a weird world with COVID-19. There's a lot of people that still don't want to attend closing. I have agents that want to attend closing but don't know if they can. And so I would just say, again, that comes down to communication. Talk to my office, talk to the title company to make it go as smooth as possible. But really, it's just I think it's just a big thing of just working with each other, talking to each other, and it'll all get done. I mean, my whole goal at the end of the day is the same as the agents, and that's to get the deal closed so that we have a successful closing, happy clients, and then we have to move on to the next deal.
For sure. And it sounds like what you're saying is, hey, it's time to work overtime. Make hay when the sun shines, right? Because everybody's having kind of good fortune right now, and a lot of listings and a lot of movement. Keep doing the business development practices that you've been doing all along to get you here.
You got to find time to talk to Joe when he asks for a time for an interview. So that's what you do to get your name out there a little bit and talk to people. But yeah, it really is for us. I really stress in our office, like, let's not forget what got us here, even when we're busy. And yes, we're trying to make hay while the sun is shining, and we'll see where it goes. But yeah, I think everybody's kind of experiencing that right now. It's amazing how busy it's been with everything that's going on.
Right. Yeah. Blessing for sure. So lastly, in the last few seconds we have, Scott, tell us something that nobody knows about you.
Well, I thought about this question because you had asked me about this earlier. And I will tell you something that nobody knows about me, and that is I was a college lip sync champion. So I entered a contest in college. I think there was about 30 other acts, and me and a few of my friends won a college lip sync contest. So probably one of those things that people might not expect coming from me, but that was something that nobody would know.
What was the song?
I honestly do not remember. It was some one-hit wonder way back when, but I do not remember the name of the song.
Okay, so we're going to have karaoke at one of our first events, and I'm going to call you on them and find out what the song is.
It was lip syncing. It wasn't actual singing. Let's remember that. You do not want to hear me at karaoke.
All right. Well, cool. Hey, Scott, thanks so much for taking time out of your very busy day to visit with us. Really, really, really appreciate it. Thanks, and have an awesome day.
My pleasure. Thank you very much for having me, Joe.